Welcome in, and thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. We begin with school beginning a little less confused Monday morning than it ended at Whale Branch High on Friday afternoon when a 15-year-old student was taken into custody and eventually sent to the State Juvenile Justice Facility in Columbia after sheriff's deputies found a loaded handgun in his backpack during a search of lockers, following a tip from another student about a possible confrontation between students. The school underwent a modified lockdown during the search. The incident somehow forced the football team to have to forfeit its game against Baptist Hill. A rare and tragic story on Hilton Head Island that frankly we're surprised not to see more often. A fire at a short-term rental home on Dingy Lane in Palmetto Dunes killed 65-year-old Robert Carpenter of St. Joseph, Missouri. 3 of the home's 6 occupants evacuated before first responders arrived. Fire rescue responders pulled 2 other occupants out of the house. One of them had to be sent to the burn center in Augusta with serious burns. Then firefighters found Carpenter's body. A weekend autopsy attempting to figure out the cause of his death. Damage to the home was significant. A lot of us promised after 9/11 that we would never forget. And 21 years later, a crowd of about 100 people still has not, showing up for a Remembrance Sunday morning at Bluffton's Veterans Memorial to honor the first responders and the nearly 3,000 people killed in the attacks. Speaker J.R. Brown has organized a Lowcountry group called Operation Patriot's Forward Operating Base that tries to cope with the rising tide of veteran suicides and PTSD cases, of which he is one since 9/11, and the war on terrorism. We'll have much more on that ceremony coming up a little bit later on. And there's another viral video out there that might not help Hilton Head's tourist business. The video was shot by New Memory Matters Executive Director Jill Horner and shows at least 4 black-tipped sharks, one of them at least 6 feet long, swimming in very shallow water off Forest Beach on the island. Lifeguards were already whistling to get people out of the water. Horner just moved here from Buffalo, New York, bet she didn't see this up there, and applauded the actions of the lifeguards in clearing the waters just off the shore. For more information on these and other Lowcountry stories, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Weather has certainly been the top story and at least top of mind around the island and around the entire Lowcountry throughout the last week, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. Are we finally going to break out of this stormy pattern, Maria Soden?
Thanks, Bob. All right, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we're going to get a slight break in the thunderstorms this week. Tuesday, it's going to be cloudy in the morning with possible thunder showers in the afternoon. Hilton Head's going to have a high of 86, a low of 73. Bluffton's going to have a high of 88, a low of 72. And Beaufort's going to have a high of 89, a low of 72. The sunrise for Tuesday is going to be at 7:05 and sunset's going to be at 7:32. Taking a look at the beach tides, high tide is going to be at 12:06 p.m. and low tide is going to be at 7:20 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week, Wednesday it's going to be cloudy with possible thunderstorms throughout the afternoon, highs in the 80s, lows in the upper 60s. Thursday it's going to be cloudy with highs in the 80s and lows in the 70s. And come Friday, we're going to see showers in the morning, which should clear up by the afternoon, highs in the 80s, lows in the 70s. That's it for today. Let's head it back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria. When we come back, we'll talk with Assistant Town Manager Angie Stone of Hilton Head Island about the efforts being made to knock off 65 priorities on the town's to-do list in the coming year. We'll talk about that and have more on the Bluffton 9/11 ceremonies and talk about high school football as we continue right here on the WHHI Daily News.